Hi there, and welcome to another video tutorial. In this video, we will be talking about constructing probability distributions. We will use your knowledge in the previous lesson about getting the sample space and the possible outcomes in a random experiment. Suppose we have this example. Two balls are drawn in succession without replacement from a box containing 3 red balls and 2 blue balls. Let x be the random variable representing the number of red balls. Construct a probability distribution. In constructing probability distribution, we will follow the following steps. Step 1. Determine the sample space. Based on the given, we let R to represent the red ball and we let B to represent the blue ball. Also in the given, we are asked to draw 2 balls in succession without replacement. So we have here the first draw and the second draw. In the first draw, there are 2 possible options. It could be that the first draw, you will be able to pick a red ball. Or, it could also be that that ball is a blue ball. After picking red in the first draw, in the second draw, it could be a red ball, giving us the possible outcome of red-red ball combination, or it could also be that it is a blue ball, giving us a red-blue ball combination. If in the first draw, you were able to pick a blue ball, in the second draw, there are 2 possible options as well. It could be that the second draw, you will be able to pick a red ball, giving us a blue-red combination. Or, it could also be that in the second draw, you will be able to pick a blue ball, giving us a blue-blue combination. Hence, the sample space in this problem, we have red-red, red-blue, blue-red, and blue-blue. Let's now proceed to step 2. In step 2, we need to count the number of red balls in each outcome in the sample space. So we have here the possible outcomes and the value of the random variable x, where x refers to the number of red balls. If the possible outcome is PB, we have 0 as the value of the random variable because there are no red balls. If the possible outcome is PR, we have 1 as the value of the random variable x because there's 1 red ball. The next possible outcome, which is RB, we still have 1 because there's only 1 red ball. And in the last possible outcome, which is red-red or RR, we have 2 as the value of the random variable, which denotes that there are 2 red balls in the possible outcome. Let us now proceed to step 3. In step 3, we need to construct the probability distribution table. There are 3 possible values of the random variable x representing the number of red balls. Based on our previous answer in step 2, these are 0, 1, and 2. Now, let us assign probabilities to each value of the random variable. Let's have a tally how many times the value of the random variable x occurs. We will base this tally in our answer in step 2. Take note that in our previous answer, we only have 1 0. there are two number ones in the value of the random variable x, and there's only 2 as the value of the random variable x. So in assigning probabilities, we have 1/4, 2/4, and 1/4. Take note that the probability or the p of x must always be equal to 1. So again, we based this in our previous answer in step 2. It's 1/4 because there's only 1 0. Next is 2/4 because there are two number ones. And the probability of the random variable x, which is equal to 2, is 1/4 because there's only one number 2. Let's now proceed to finding the mean, variance, and standard deviation of discrete probability distributions. Suppose we have this example. The number of laptops sold per day at a local gadget store, along with its corresponding probabilities, is shown in the succeeding table. Compute the mean, variance, and the standard deviation of the probability distribution by following the given steps. So we have here the given, the number of laptops sold, which denotes x, and its corresponding probability, which is represented by the p of x. So we have 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4, which represents the number of laptops sold, and its corresponding probabilities, we have 0.10, 0.20, 0.30, 0.20, and 0.20. Let's start with step 1. Find the mean of the probability distribution by multiplying x and the probability of x. So I have here the number of laptops sold and the probability or the p of x. Multiplying the two columns, so we have here 0 times 0.10, that's 0. 1 times 0.20, that's 0.20. 2 times 0.30, that is equal to 0.60. 3 times 0.20, that is still equal to 0.60. And 4 times 0.20, that would give us a result of 0.80. Next, add the results in column 3. So we have here 0 plus 0.20 plus 0.60 plus 0.60 plus 0.80. That would give us an answer of 2.20. And this will be our mean. Let's now proceed to step 2. In step 2, we need to subtract the mean from each value of the random variable x. Take note that our mean is 2.2, which is the answer in step 1. So we have here the first column minus the mean of 2.2. So 0 minus 2.2, that is equal to negative 2.2. 1 minus 2.2, that is equal to negative 1.2. 2 times 2.2, that is equal to negative 0.2. 3 minus 2.2, that is equal to 0.8. And 4 minus 2.2, that is equal to 1.8. Step 3. square the results obtained in step 2. So we have here the table. We will square the results obtained in column 3. So negative 2.2 squared, that is equal to 4.84. Negative 1.2 squared, that is equal to 1.44. Negative 0.2 squared, that is equal to 0.04. 0.8 squared, that is equal to 0.64. And 1.8 squared, that is equal to 3.24. Let us now proceed to step 4. In step 4, multiply the results obtained in step 3 by the corresponding probability or P of x. So we will use the second column multiplied to the fourth column. So we have here 0.10 times 4.84, that is equal to 0.484. 0.20 times 1.44, that is equal to 0.288. 0.30 times 0.04, that is equal to 0.012. 0.20 times 0.64, that is equal to 0.128. And lastly, 0.20 times 3.24, that is equal to 0.648. And in step 5, we need to get the sum of the results obtained in step 4. The result is the value of the variance. So the variance is equal to 0.484 plus 0.288 plus 0.012 plus 0.128 plus 0.648. Adding them together, that would give us an answer of 1.56. And this is our variance. While in step 6, get the square root of the variance to get the standard deviation. So our standard deviation is equal to the square root of 1.56, which gives us a result of 1.25. And that's it. I hope you learned something from this video. Thank you for watching. Until next time.